Hello everyone, Eric here. Today I'd like to show you pretty much my favorite machine in all of Minecraft. This is a Mumbo Jumbo machine. This is his tree farm. There is a link to the tutorial for Mumbo's tree farm in the description. Today we're going to talk about making some upgrades to this machine. Here it is, Mr. Jumbo's tree machine, right when you're done building it in the video. The way the machine is configured, after the tutorial, it makes one heck of a lot of oak trees, and not much else. So, I thought I'd show you some upgrades, so that we can grow birch, and acacia wood, and jungle trees. No spruce, sadly, but, well, let's just jump into it and take a look at improving on perfection. Let's go over what we're going to do today. We're going to redo the repeater timings for the main parts of the machine, the log handling, the leaf crushers. There is some confusion in the middle and end of the Mumbo Jumbo video, and we're going to get them straightened out. We're going to change the bone meal and sapling hopper paths so that you no longer get any saplings into your bone meal supply, and we'll have a larger pickup area for the saplings on the inside of the machine. We're going to replace the rapid pulsar clock that was required before comparators and things like that. They are problematic nowadays, particularly on servers. So we're able to get rid of them. So we're able to put in a much more efficient type of rapid oscillator. So we'll do that. The double piston extender, which is the log pusher, or tree pusher for the machine, only retracts one. It extends two, but it only retracts one currently. We're going to make it retract fully. And we're going to change the growth control mechanism. We've got some glass at the top of the machine, the way it was built. And we're going to put in another Mumbo Jumbo invention, a inverted vertical double piston extender. And we're going to put that on top of the machine so that we control two different types of tree height. Let's get started. First things first, repeater timings. There is some confusion in the video about what timings are what. Mumbo makes some changes halfway through. So, here's what we're going to do. Make this nice and easy for you. Every repeater is going to be 2 ticks, except for this row, which is 1 tick, and this row, which is 4 ticks. So we will change these to 2. Oops. There you go. These are 2, but don't even worry about them, because we're going to make changes to that later. These are still 2, no trouble. That's 3 currently. 2 it is. Repeater timings updated. Let's move on to the next task. Change the bone meal and sapling hopper paths. There's some inefficiencies with that here. As you'll note, he had us add this piece of wood so that it wouldn't fill up, and an iron block there, and a whole bunch of things. We are going to make changes to that. So, here's how we do it. We're going to get rid of these. There's our bone meal path right there. You notice how there was 2 hoppers, one on top of each other there? Interesting, yeah? All right, we're going to destroy this block that's part of the timer system. We're going to shift click into the back of the dropper, then keep shift clicking them in. There is our new hopper path. Get rid of the iron block because we're going to make changes to this too. We're going to add that hopper and this hopper and that hopper. These are all for saplings now. We can also raise this up a bit. There we go. There's our bottom hopper. Take a look at that real quick. And Mumbo says in his video, he says hopper, then chest, then hopper, then chest. But if you pay attention, he puts hopper, then chest, then hopper. Well, you can actually do what he said instead of what he did. Shift place all of these. And yes, there is a point to all this. We can add that as well. Happy, happy. All right, now that we've made that change on the outside, we can get rid of this block, and you'll no longer get any more saplings in your dispenser. Now, let's take a look at the next change on my list. Replace the torch burnout rapid pulsar clock. Perhaps you're running this on a server. Perhaps the server owner has threatened you with bodily harm if you don't get rid of this thing. We're going to take care of that right now. The torch burnout clocks are an old way of making a rapid clock. They're no longer required. I can dump all this bone meal back into the machine. I can see that right now. We'll use our friend the comparator. And we can turn this off now. And even put that up at eye level. And we need to shift place some dust on top of our hopper. Put the comparator in subtraction mode. And there it is. All three things are working just fine. See? If this gives you trouble, there are a couple things you can do. That will slow it down by 1 tick. And you can also, give it some nice, highly direct power this way. Probably for console users. But generally, even your nice Bukkit or Spigot server will accept this. Let's move on to the next thing. Let's make the double piston extender actually fully retract, doubly. Here's what I'm talking about. There's our tree pushing double piston extender, and there's the pistons that are not touching it. We're going to make a little more room for the new trees in here. by actually making this fully retract. There we go. By the way, you'll need an additional block right there. Okay, that's the new platform made entirely out of half slabs. That's the new line of dust. And we'll need a repeater, 2 ticks, 4 ticks, 0 ticks up front, as it was right there. Just the most standard horizontal double piston extender that Mumbo Jumbo taught us long ago. Put our 2-tick ones there. Good. 4 ticks there. 4 ticks there. Fill in the rest with dust. Observe. We should turn the machine on just for fun. Put our block in, and voila! Now our double piston extender double retracts. We can get rid of this now, thank God. We can give it a friend right about there, I think. There we go. See? We removed that block of iron earlier on the ground here. Now there's a hopper directly above it. Try not to be shocked and amazed. It's true, the redstone block will lock the hopper, and it will unlock when the machine detects a tree. So items will make it through. Don't worry about it. Okay. Now, oh, and yes, the double retraction, as you can see, right there. Finally made it all the way home after so many months. Lastly, variable growth control mechanism. Our current growth control mechanism is that piece of glass. We're going to get rid of this, and we're going to make some changes up here. First of all, believe it or not, this iron is in the growth zone for some tree types. Not for long. Better. Oops. There we go. Just the same as it was when Mumbo did it. We're going to get some glowstone here. We're going to bring it up 2 blocks. We can get rid of this now. Here's our new upper growth control. Nice and sunshiny, plenty of light for our tree. But it cannot all be glowstone. Take a look at the orientation here. See where we're at? Look again. Those blocks will have to be opaque, non-transparent blocks. Okay. The glowstone, we're going to move it up and down. Interesting. And we're going to do this with yet another Mumbo Jumbo invention. His inverted vertical double piston extender. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't use his. Interesting block placement. This repeater, by the way, should be 2 ticks. One tick. 1 tick. I believe we're just about done with that. Unless I've forgotten something. Our double extension. There's our double retraction. This switch is for testing purposes. Or I suppose you could leave it here and operate the machine this way. Hard to do in survival. But either way is just fine. And I'm just going to move it to ground level for us. Probably easier ways to make this type of tower than the way I do it, so feel free to do it however you like. All these full blocks. I'm going to dust it so the signal can reach it. I'll put another block here for our sign, a block here for our switch. Something like that. Now we are at the old growth control limit. And there's the new one. 2 blocks higher. The trees that will use this new height will only grow leaves above level 7 for this block and the air block above us. So that leaves will end up in the area, but no logs will. Thus, the machine will be able to push it out and move it around the system. let's try it out. Oh. Just because I'm old, I don't feel like jumping up every time. Put some stairs into the system. Look at that. Much more convenient. Okay, let's try this again. First, let's try oak. Just as it was. No torch burnout sound. Life is good. Alright, let's do birch next. We will change our growth control. And now we can put birch into the machine all day. Jungle is next. Now Acacia. You see how occasionally an Acacia log ends up in the wrong place. Given enough time, Acacia will break the machine. However, you can remove the Acacia log if it's an offender, like that. It's pretty easy, that's all you have to do. Or what will happen is, eventually, if you just AFK it and keep going, one of these pistons will be pushed through. The redstone dust will break, those pistons will no longer fire, some of these pistons will no longer fire, and you'll end up with a long line of logs out here until we get to the 12 push limit, and it will be done. It's no big deal, no need to encase the machine in obsidian or anything. Just clean it out, put your dust back. Really not a big deal, but check it out. First of all, we've got wood all the way up to the 7 limit now, and it's going to get pushed out at 7 as well. We've got all different types of wood here, including but not limited to acacia wood, jungle logs, birch, that's birch, oak. We've taken Mumbo's great machine and made it slightly greater. Now it grows 4 types of wood. Later on, I will show you in another video a different tree machine style that will allow us to grow spruce wood as well, although it's a pretty expensive machine considering you only gain spruce wood. There are other more economical ways to farm spruce. In any case, I hope this has been helpful. My name is Eric, in-game name clydesdalefan. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.